Welcome to the Wattsburg Area School District, where we are student-centered and future-focused for a world-class education. I now call to order the regular board meeting for the Wattsburg Area School District Board of Directors for Monday, May 19th. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Blazer.
Present.
Mr. Blazer. Present. Mr. Brummagem.
Present.
Mrs. Burlingham.
Here.
Mrs. Hetherington.
Here.
Mrs. Lee.
Here.
Mr. Morvay.
Here.
Dr. Pushcheck.
Here.
Mr. Williams.
Here.
Mr. Young.
Present. I will now entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So move, Pushcheck.
Burlingham second.
Any questions on the agenda? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. I now entertain a motion to approve the minutes from our to approve the minutes from our work session.
Morvay, so moved.
Hetherington second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Mr. President, didn't we have the meeting on April 21st?
Oh,
as well?
and I will also entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting on April 21st.
So move, Pushcheck.
Nicole second.
Any questions on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. It's now time for school reports.
Yes, we have Mr. Thank you. This evening, we have a report from the middle school, and I'll turn things over to our principal at the middle school, Mr. Paris.
Is it on? Or did I shut it off? No, it's working. All right, today we have members of our Envirothon teams. How many teams do we have? Oh, I'm stealing their thunder. But the Envirothon's been going on for many, many years, and our 6th, 7th, and 8th graders participated in it for many years. And we have Mrs. Burdick that's going to introduce the team and tell you what it's all about. I'll give it to them.
Hello, everyone. We're really excited and proud of our teams, and I'm going to let them tell you all about how our afternoon went that day.
So, we were going to the, what's it called?
Headwaters?
Headwaters Park, and we started the day for waiting for the other districts to join us. And it was Tuesday, my bad, May 6th, and 6th and 8th grade participated in the middle, but it says 8th grade up there too.
6th through 8th.
Oh, my bad. Nice. We all participated and had a lot of fun while doing it. We did soil, wildlife, forestry, aquatics, and there's a current events presentation. Thank you.
We had 16.
We had 6 teams: the Wood Warriors, the Green Bananas, the Volcanoes, the Mighty Bobcats, faculty, and that's not a team. Dream, Tropical, and the Green Vines.
So for the Wood Warriors, which was our 8th grade team, they took 2nd place overall.
Overall, so all teams that competed, our 8th graders took 2nd place overall, which we've been going for many years, and this was very exciting because they did a beautiful job. So those students were Melanie Campbell, Sydney Williams, Gabby Schultz, and John Joel. And Sydney's going to come up and show you all of the good things that they earned that day.
Congratulations.
Nice. Congratulations.
Congratulations, well done.
Yes, very nice.
Volcanoes?
So the Volcanoes, which is the 6th grade team, and the members were Kendall Farrell, Allison Sayers, McKenna Kelly, Elliot Chapman, and Lucas Szymanski, and we finished in 3rd place, and it was our first year of competing. And the Volcanoes also claimed 1st place honors in the wildlife portion of the competition, and we got these.
So not only did they make this 3rd place overall, their very first time ever coming to the competition, but they also won 1st place honors in the wildlife portion. And they're all here, except for Elliot, right?
Yeah.
Volcanoes, can you come up here? Let me see you. So again, these were brand new participants to the event. We're very, 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 very proud of them. Kenna, do you want to show them what you want?
Huh?
Or, I'm sorry, Kendall. All right, and Green Banana? Do you want to come on up? Come on, girl.
Don't be shy.
You want to talk? Nope.
The green bananas, we were a mix of 6th and 8th grade, 6th and 7th grade. It was Luke Laylod, Carter Kreger, those were the 6th graders, and the 2 7th graders are Hannah Strohmeyer and Kira Smith. We took 1st place in the honors for the soil event.
The soils event. So they
Wow.
won 1st place in the soils event. Does anybody have their soils? Oh, it was a bag.
Yeah.
That's right. They won like a bag with what was inside.
Like
Barn
a squishy barn.
Barn squishy.
And
Right.
a leveler combined with some tape measure.
So on behalf of all of us, our entire team, we wanted to thank you for your support, your continued support. We look forward to coming back next year. And we heard another team when we were leaving say, watch out for Wattsburg. They're coming for everything. So
That's what we like to hear.
thank you.
And I just want to commend the parents, too, for your support and bringing the kids out tonight. Thank you.
This is the greatest pleasure in what we do here from a local governance level, is to be able to see the achievements of our students, not just in our buildings, but outside of our buildings and representing our district. And I know you kiddos did a great job at doing that. So thank you very much, and thank you for your presentation.
You want to let them escape?
Yeah, and kids, the rest of this isn't as fun as you, so you don't have to stay if you don't want to. But if you want to learn all about school board meetings, then you are more than welcome. And when you're in high school, you even have a class available to you where you get credit for coming here. So you could practice, so it's up to you. It's now time for guest and citizen comments, and they're exiting. Do we have anyone signed up to speak this evening?
Sydney,
No, we
you have
do
to
not.
stay, otherwise you don't get a ride home, so.
Thanks, kids. We'll give them a second to get out here. All right. Next on our agenda, it's time for the superintendent's report, and the chair will now recognize Dr. Ken Berlin.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to provide a brief overview, end of the year here, put things in perspective. I want to talk a little bit about where we've been academic-wise, what we're doing here at the end of the school year, and then just looking forward to wrapping things up in June with the annual safety report. So as you know, over the past few weeks, we've gotten into the end of the year assessments. This is that time of year, and 3 through 8 took the PSSA, and that's in the 3 major subject areas, and the high school as well. Secondary students take the Keystone in English, algebra, or biology. It might vary what grade they take it in, 10, 11. There are some students that take the algebra test even earlier in 8th grade. But that is wrapping up this week, started last week. So we're probably just doing some makeups. But just so a little retrospective, this is how we did in the fall when the scores came in. And you can see that we did quite well. We met or exceeded or if we missed a target, we were improving almost across the board. There's an exception or two there, but very well-rounded, progress-oriented achievement there. Things are going in the right direction. So let's go to the next slide. Yeah, so, and that's just what I had said a second ago. Overall, the performance targets were met. And we have strengths and challenges, obviously. The strengths would be that everywhere you look, for the most part, we've met, increased, or we're exceeding a standard or a growth metric. And math in particular, in all the schools, the growth is very strong. And we're really starting to see the effects of Eureka and some of these math programs we put in place almost 10 years ago. That's really starting to pay off with the teachers, staff being familiar with that. And then, and parents too, families, you have to learn Eureka math as well, as many of you have discovered, right? Okay, and then the challenges, we do have a few areas. Science at the high school, we know that's has been an area that needs attention, and we have been taking a look at that. We didn't meet targets there this year, but we are increasing growth-wise, so that's the first step. You have to start growing before you're going to hit a hard target. So that's moving in the right direction. And then the targets for proficient advanced ELA at the WAMS and elementary, not met, but the academic growth standards was exceeded. So the students are moving as quickly as they're capable of moving relative to what they've done and their peers are doing. Okay, next slide. So there's a building level score, and these do get published. I noticed the Erie Times picks these up sometimes. This is a score that gets applied to the building for PDE school improvement activities. Now, we're not identified for any of those things. In fact, we're far from it. The building level score is a compilation. It's a proxy that includes attendance, achievement scores, growth scores, graduation progress, career goal exploration. It puts them all together. So it's a very comprehensive global metric or proxy for how a school is doing. So in short, you can see the elementary school is at the top of the crew there in this local area. Go to the next slide. Much the same, middle school, the building level score, again, aggregate, looking at everything that happens in a school building with the kids you have. We are near the top of the pack there. And one more slide, Seneca also doing very well. It can be, especially at the high school level, it can be a little discouraging looking at the achievement scores on the Keystones. Those are tough tests, and they're designed to be tough. And generally, across the county, across the state, you don't have people exceeding and just blowing the doors off the Keystones. And this score puts that in perspective. We're actually doing quite well. Okay, and then finally, just looking ahead, some of the annual things we do at the end of every year, the board will receive a safety report from me, and this, of course, started in 2018 when all schools had to appoint a school safety coordinator. And here, we don't have a real big staff, so that's me. And we'll do that in executive committee because that's what's called for in the statute. And I'll kind of run you through some of the things that we identified last summer and that we've put into place. And then, of course, this summer we worked in some school and safety improvement upgrades facility-wise with our school improvement grant that we were awarded by the state, which is almost $1 million. So we're gonna be taking care of some things like higher security doors, at the middle school and windows and that type of thing. So we've made really excellent progress there, and I'll get more into the details with the board and some of the aspects of, what we're doing with students and some of those numbers next month. So that's just looking ahead. And that's all I had tonight.
Does anyone have any questions for Dr. Berlin?
Of course, the most important date right there.
It's coming quick.
Yep, that's why we're all here, so.
And we're excited. All right, thank you, Dr. Berlin. The chair will now recognize Mrs. Vicki Bendig for the Business Administrator's Report.
Thank you, Mr. President, for tonight. The treasurer's reports that were presented last week, the general fund, $10,957,714.16. I also have the budget versus actual report. We're about 83% of the fiscal year completed. There's 2 months left. We're sitting at 65% of the year-to-date total budgeted expenditures and 77.21% of the year-to-date budget revenues. So it's always good to see when revenues are exceeding expenditures. Capital projects treasury report, $17.22 as of the end of April. Cafeteria has $751,908.09 in that account as of the end of April. Cafeteria profit and loss report for April, we had a profit of $19,013.14, which brings our year-to-date loss up to a negative $149,672.34. And then the student activities account had a total balance of $77,271.85 as of the end of April. Moving on to the bill lists. The checks already written between last board meeting and the work session. General fund checks, $40,499.33. There were no capital projects checks. Cafeteria had a check of $73.83. And then between last work session and this evening, there was $62,479.47 of general fund bills, and the cafeteria bill of $54,807.01. That was our Nutrition Inc. bill that was paid in advance to take advantage of the discount. And then the bill list for your approval tonight, general fund totaling $538,814.61, and the cafeteria bill of $2,739.82. And that is all I have this evening.
Does anyone have any questions for Mrs. Bendig?
I have a quick question. So the cafeteria, I see our year-to-date loss, and I'm assuming that's equipment and we are stocking up on things, but we still have a very healthy balance. So did you not say, I know in the past you've talked about how we can only reinvest that within the cafeteria world, but is there any movement on if we could use that money for other things, or are we still locked into, and if we are locked into, is there any other equipment that we're looking at?
There is absolutely no movement, never will be, out of food service to other things. So, but something that we are looking at, the middle school is exceeding its space for walk-in. They do not have a walk-in cooler at the middle school because when it was built, it was never intended to be a standalone kitchen. Everything was supposed to be prepared at the high school and then taken over there, and that just was not a good plan. It did not work well. So we currently have a whole bunch of produce in plug-in like milk coolers, and we've got milk crates shoved here, there, and everywhere in coolers, trying to keep everything where it needs to be. So we have been investigating an external, would be a walk-in cooler that we would purchase that would be plopped down, but that also includes moving some mechanicals, construction to put a door so that they can go right in off of the dock. There will have to be a footer to raise it up to the level so that it's the dock level. And we have a quote for all of that, and I have submitted it to Department of Food and Nutrition for their approval. I've not heard anything back, so I'm going to reach back out to them. They always say that construction is never covered, but if the purpose of the construction is for a food service thing, it can be. So it's kind of a I'm hoping that we're going to be able to do that, but that'll be a very large chunk of change.
It'll put a dent in our balance, yeah.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Any others? I'll now entertain a motion to approve the business reports, payments, and invoices as presented.
Nicole, so moved.
Jeremy, second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Mrs. Bending. Under legal advisement this evening, we have the opportunity to ratify the collective bargaining agreement between the Wattsburg Area School District and the Wattsburg Education Association, including all appendices effective August 16th, 2025 through August 15th of 2028. Does anyone have any questions on the ratification of the contract?
Let's move it first.
Sorry, I'll entertain a motion.
So
Pardon.
moved. Push check.
Nicole, second.
Any questions? This one we will vote by roll call.
Mr. Blazer,
Yes.
Mr. Brummagem,
Yes.
Mrs. Burlingham,
Yes.
Mrs. Hetherington,
Yes.
Mrs. Lee,
Yes.
Mr. Morvay,
Yes.
Dr. Pushcheck,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. Chair will now recognize Dr. Andy Pushcheck for Finance.
Thank you, Mr. President. Under Finance this evening, we have 5 items, 2 regular agenda items, and 3 addendum items. I'd like to take the first one by itself. That is to approve the renewal contract with our food service management company, and that's in the form of a motion. So moved.
Nicole, second.
Are there any questions on the renewal contract for food service management with the Nutrition Group?
Mr. President,
Yes, Dr. Pushcheck.
just like to recognize the Nutrition Group and the continued excellent service that they provide to our students and families. We've come a long way, and we're so glad we made that change when we did.
Agreed. Thank you, Dr. Pushcheck. Any others?
I would also request a roll call vote, please, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Pushcheck. May we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Blazer,
Yes.
Mr. Brummagem,
Yes.
Mrs. Burlingham,
Yes.
Mrs. Hetherington,
Yes.
Mrs. Lee,
Yes.
Mr. Morvay,
Yes.
Dr. Pushcheck,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you all, and thank you to the Nutrition Group. Dr. Pushcheck?
Mr. President, without objection, I'd like to take items 7B, 7C, 7D, 7E in one motion. That would be the budgetary transfers, the fund transfers, the election of treasurer, and the Bucks Comprehensive Program Agreement. All 4 moved together as one motion. So moved.
Nicole, second.
Does anyone have any questions on those 4 agenda items? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
That's all I have for this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Pushcheck. Chair will now recognize Mr. Jeremy Blazer for Buildings and Grounds.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have 3 items under Building and Grounds. I'd like to make a motion to move all 3 at the same time. A is our renewal of our snow removal agreement with Nelson Trucking. B is a facility use request, as seen in the item. And C is the HVAC preventive maintenance plan with Stark Tech. So moved.
Nicole, second.
Are there any questions on the 3 items presented by Mr. Blazer? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Those motions carry. Thank you, Mr. Blazer.
Thank you.
Chair will now recognize Ms. Nicole Lee for Personnel.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have quite a few items again tonight. I am going to start with 2 single considerations. The first one is 9A, and it is to reconsider the approval of the appointments from April 21st, 2025 as outlined. So moved.
Second, Pushcheck.
Okay, so this motion to reconsider is the action from our previous regular board meeting due to a board member that voted on the hiring of an immediate family member, which will result in financial gain for that immediate family member. And by voting to reconsider this evening, the original motion is placed back on the table for a new vote. So are there any questions or comments on this motion?
Mr. President, I will abstain from this vote due to the immediate family member being listed.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Morvay. Any other questions? So all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions?
Steve Morvay?
All right, Mr. Morve's abstention is noted, and the motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Mrs. Lee?
The next one I have is similar in action. It is for appointments, and it is to approve the following appointments as outlined. So moved.
Second, Burlingham.
Any questions or comments on the motion?
Mr. President, I need to abstain from this motion as well, due to the family member being listed.
Thank you, Mr. Morve. Any other questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions?
Steve Morve?
Mr. Morve's abstention is noted, and the motion carries. Thank you. Mrs. Lee?
All right, and to finish out the rest of my section, without objection, I'd like to move all as one motion. They include C, resignations as listed, D, summer help rates, E, leave requests, F, job descriptions, G, tuition reimbursement, H, Erie County Sheriff's Office Deputy Services Agreement, I, ESS substitute list additions, and J, an addendum for the Gertrude Barber Center one-to-one aid service agreement. So move.
Sorry, Burlingham second.
Are there any questions on those 8 items presented by Mrs. Lee?
Not a question, but we will miss Mrs. Schwartz. She was a great asset at the elementary center. She will be missed.
I will, yes, absolutely. Any others? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. And those 8 carry. Thank you very much, Mrs. Lee.
Thank you.
The chair will now recognize Mrs. Brittany Burlingham for policy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have nothing underneath policy tonight.
Thank you, Mrs. Burlingham. The chair will now recognize Mr. Stephen Morve for curriculum.
Mr. President, there are 2 items on the agenda tonight for consideration and 1 addendum item, and if there's no objection, I will move all 3 as a one motion. Those include 11A, the high school health curriculum between Wattsburg Area School District and the Education Training Research Group, the refocus room agreements for the middle school and the high school between Wattsburg Area School District and Sarah Reed Children's Center, and then the addendum item is to provide agreement between Gertrude Barber Center, Wattsburg School District, and the ESY Educational Services from July through August of this year. Those 3 so moved.
Second, Pushcheck.
Any questions on those 3 items?
Mr. President, I have a question or two.
Yes, Mr. Bremerton?
Just for clarification purposes, what is the reasoning for the need to update the health curriculum?
Yeah, so we currently don't have a health curriculum, so we've got 3 different health and PE teachers, and so they've kind of cobbled something together that does its best to meet the health standards as outlined by the state. And so in our curriculum revision cycle, this fell for the year to update that curriculum, and this is the one that they felt best met all the state standards. It made sense and allowed a certain level of flexibility because it's a digital curriculum.
Thank you, Mr. Engler. And a follow-up question to that would be, in a recent PSBA school leader bulletin, there was legal action taken against the district for respecting parental rights. In curriculum such as health, there's an opportunity for potential controversial subject matter when it comes to sexual education. Do you view anything in this curriculum, since we have not seen it verbatim, do you see anything in this curriculum that would be of concern?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. So the standard that we discussed was standard 10.19A. It discusses factors that impact growth and developmental between adolescence and adulthood. And so that's where they talk about STDs and HIV prevention. And so this particular curriculum is divided into 5 units, the last one being personal health and wellness. And then there's 2 add-ons that are part of that last unit of personal health and wellness that include abstinence, personal and sexual health, HIV, STI, and pregnancy prevention. And so from that, it's mostly statistics and just giving factual information. I don't think there's anything very controversial. And again, the curriculum allows the teachers to opt out of any of that particular part of it. So we're just trying to meet that one standard, 10.19A for Pennsylvania state standards.
Thank you for your response. Appreciate it.
Any other questions? Thank you very much for the clarifications, Mr. Englert. So all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. And those three motions carry. Thank you very much, Mr. Morvay.
Thank you, Mr. President.
The chair will now recognize Mr. Jesse Williams for technology.
Mr. President, I have one thing on the agenda for today, that's the addendum. I'm going to, is it VoIP, or are we trying to do phonics on this and say VoIP, or? Okay, so I'm going to go with VoIP.
Voice over Internet Protocol is what that stands for.
Okay, VoIP it is. Service and equipment, it would be approving the purchase and installation of that equipment.
Blazer, second.
Any questions on that? VoIP, services and equipment agreement? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Williams. Chair will now recognize Mr. Greg Brummagen for transportation.
Mr. President, I have one item for tonight to approve the transportation request and ratification of field trips since last meeting as attached. So moved.
Nicole, second.
Any questions on the transportation requests? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Brummagen. The chair will now recognize Ms. Leah Hetherington for athletic and extracurricular.
Thank you, Mr. President. I only have one item this evening. It is volunteer list additions as listed on the agenda, and with a couple of additions on the addendum part. So moved.
Second, push check.
Are there any questions on the volunteer list additions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Under miscellaneous this evening, we have the Kidder Media Agreement. This is to approve the agreement between Kidder Media and Wattsburg Area School District for the 2025-2026 newsletter production as attached. May I have a motion to that order?
Morvay, so moved.
Nicole, second.
Are there any questions on the Kidder Media Agreement? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. The chair will now recognize Mr. Stephen Morvay for the Erie County Technical School Joint Operating Committee report.
Mr. President, this is a brief report on the April board meeting of the Joint Operating Committee there at the Erie County Technical School. We were presented by a group of students that had participated in the Skills USA Challenge and presented their report. And actually one of the groups, which included our own Avita Pushak, won the state presentation, and therefore she and her group will be going to Atlanta in early June for, it's under early childhood education, and they will be presenting their, it's a little booklet and some other things that they call it Little Learning Adventures. It's really a kind of a quick and easy way and try to get kids to read and try to get very simple and easy images for them to present for early childhood education. Very, very informative, very interesting group, and those folks will be presenting in June, so that's an exciting time for them in nationals in the first week of June. So the next item that we had that I always like to report is any Wattsburg area students of the month. We had three. We had Elijah Carner under auto body repair, Nathan Gregory in auto technologies, and then Emma Trippy she's also in early childhood education, and they were recognized in March. That's a report that always comes out a month late, and so I'm 2 months late actually in my report to you. Some upcoming items that are coming up to the tech school on the 14th was Senior Art Showcase. So I don't know if anybody was able to get to see that, but that happened for the students in art, senior art. That happened last week. The 25-26 budget that we all ratified in all the other districts, that was sent into the state. So I haven't heard anything negative along those lines, so I'm sure that's all been positively received. We continue to struggle at the tech school with keeping and holding on to a computer networking teacher. Unfortunately, computer networking, the marketplace allows for a higher salary and more exciting, apparently, opportunities than at the tech school. So if anyone knows anyone that is interested in computer networking that wants to be a teacher, please apply. So that is still an open position. And then lastly, just a few statistics. Currently, there are 934 students enrolled. 76 are from Wattsburg, and we have 95 available to us. So I know next year, I believe there was over 500 and some odd commitments throughout all the districts. and they were working through registrations, and there were about 350 of those had been registered at this point. So they're continuing to work through final registrations along those lines. And then in addition, the co-op program, which if you're not familiar with the co-op program, but that's where students go to work in the industries that they're of their chosen field, and they actually get credit as basically being in-school credit that applies to them. There's many, many students. I think I had down 124 students are in co-op, over 107 different facilities or sites. So that's where the broad reach of the tech school students are actually participating in their actual industries. And so that's a goal of the co-op coordinators to try to get more and more students actually doing that in the field that they've chosen. So that's a brief report that I have, Mr. President, unless you have any questions for me.
Well, thank you, Mr. Morvay, and it's really great to hear how our students are excelling at the tech school, and being able to come back and celebrate them is really exciting. Are there any other questions for Mr. Morvay? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President.
The chair will now recognize Dr. Andrew Pushjack for the Northwest Tri-County Intermediate Unit Report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a few items in addition to the board report that Dr. Berlin had sent out to the board. We did pass the budget, similar to the VOTEC or the tech school, which all districts did approve. Just a few highlights. The Innovative Technology Solutions staff, which is the ITS staff at the IU, was recognized for their invitation to Hershey. They provided all of the support for the Pennsylvania Association of Federal Programs Coordinators Conference. So that was pretty exciting to have our IU5 technology folks be showcased by providing that service. HR, as I had mentioned in the past, is still working to fill several positions. I believe we have 25 positions that will be on our agenda for next week, and we still have 28 more to fill. So working diligently to fill those positions. Some of those are related to the transfer of entity for early intervention from Erie's Public Schools to the IU. HR continues the onboarding of those 40 key staff for that early intervention programs that are needed. They're looking for spaces to house those programs. In addition to the governor's budget regarding early childhood funding, it's called OCDEL. It's the Office for Child Development and Early Learning has also requested additional funds, which would impact the IU in supporting the preschool early intervention programs. And then our next meeting is May 28th, next week, and that's all I have. Thank you. Oh, one other item. Dr. Berlin had sent out the digital copy of the 2025 State of Education. I have hard copies if anybody would like to take them. A lot of interesting facts about our schools and resources in Pennsylvania. So that's all I have for real.
Any questions for Dr. Pushjack? Thank you for your continued leadership here and at the IU and bridging that gap for this group. So thank you very much. Now time for board correspondence and dialogue. Does anyone have anything for the good of the
Mr. President,
order?
I have one thing. I think I've said this before when I said that we often talk a lot about septic tanks here and the VoIP now. And so the student showcases that you guys do here when you bring up students or groups is greatly appreciated. I think it shows a couple things. I think one, it shows to the staff who work for those students that we see you and we recognize that you are doing something well for our children. And then the second one is for the kids. Now, I understand my kid's sitting over there in the fifth style, so I understand that. But I would also really like to see if we could do this every time, whether or not it's a wrestling club or a baseball team, and it doesn't even have to be something that they're winning an award for or anything like that. I would just appreciate the fact that, again, showing in particular the staff members that we see them, we appreciate the coaching, we appreciate the team sports that they do or the clubs, because if you know anything about these schools now, it's getting harder and harder to convince people to be a coach or to be someone who's in charge of kids after hours. So anytime that we can get this on the agenda of any sort would be greatly appreciated by me. But thank you very much for today.
Absolutely agreed on all points.
Mr. President?
Dr. Pushjack?
I wholeheartedly agree with Mr. Williams' comments. and I would certainly support that as well. Personally, I just wanted to mention that I attended my 17th and 18th honorable breakfast at the middle school. They keep getting better and better. We took the time to actually figure out how many we've been to. That's a nice way to honor the achievements of those students with a gathering with their parents, and a delicious breakfast was served. And then also, last week I attended the Best of the Bobcats, which is our annual spring talent show. And interesting, the award winner was a first grader playing heavy metal rock on his guitar.
That's awesome.
First grader.
Do you recall what he played?
Something by Godsmack.
Oh, excellent. Yeah,
I'm not familiar with that, but I recall the name. And he had his glasses and his leather
Now, if
jacket.
you're gonna
Amp
play, 2010s hard rock, Godsmack's definitely a good lane.
More good things that our district provides for our students, and the leadership class at the high school put that on very, very well done. So just some more kudos to our district and our students and the good things that are going on.
Thank you, Dr. Pushchak. Mrs. Burlingham.
Andy stole some of the words out of my mouth, but that's fine. That's fine. I also was going to bring up the talent show because I go every year. I love it every year. I have, the first grader getting first place was fantastic. I love the song that the ones who won. Our special needs class, what is the specific name? Did they have a group name?
They did.
I cannot remember.
Club, maybe?
Yes,
Something along those lines.
it was so fantastic to hear them sing and just see all of our kids connect. Of course, like my brother-in-law Michael got third, so obviously
Yes, he
every
did.
time he sings with the microphone, I cry. But just the fact that all of the talent, like when we do the musicals and the plays, we have such a massive turnout. And I got to attend one of the dinners for the theater group because I was doing a favor for my mother-in-law, and I went, and Mr. O'Donnell and Mrs. Cage, they just do such a fantastic job with these kids. And I know my daughter going into 7th grade is so excited to participate in any of because now she's at the age where she'll get to, maybe I can be in the play. But I love how we come together to watch these kids perform because we have some really talented kids in Wattsburg. But it's just so fun. So I also, same thing, Andy, I agree. It was a fun time. We loved it. Keep doing it, so.
Mr. Morvay.
Mr. President, a couple of things. Wanted to remind everyone again that the summer send-off is next Friday. Obviously, that'll be, we won't have a board meeting until then, but that is, always very well attended, always very well put on by the leadership class and the group that has all the various sponsors and whatnot, so we want to thank them and look forward to that event next Friday. And then I also want to highlight the summer sports teams that have made it through the regular season and then into the playoffs and various things. I know the softball team actually played today. Unfortunately, I didn't hear how they did.
They won.
Did they win? So there's a win. So they moved on. And then the track district team, both boys and girls, that happened over on the weekend on Saturday. And the little quick report here, we have 8 state qualifiers, 3 D10 champions, and 4 new school records for the track team. So wanted to highlight all those. And that state track meet then begins Friday and Saturday, and I know the softball playoffs continue. I don't know exactly when their next game will probably be later this week as well. So just shout out to those teams and the coaches and all the effort that they put together. So thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Morvay, for bringing the stats, too. Mr. Brummagem.
A busy night tonight in board correspondence, so I apologize to add to it. But likewise, I also have written down that I went to the talent show, and we are lucky to have somebody like Mr. O'Donnell on our staff. And I also went to the chorus concert for the middle school and high school, and I enjoyed it. So I think that speaks volumes. Mrs. Cage has done an excellent job with our staff as well, with our pupils as well. So I want to say that, which is going to go into my third comment. Tonight we voted to increase cumulative 20% to our teachers' pay package over the next 3 years. My concern, and we voted for it, I didn't bring it up earlier, but what I want to ask the board president is we bring up as a board several items in the last year and a half or so that I've been on this board, and nothing has ever made the agenda. That gets brought up by this committee and never makes it to agenda. So the problem is not that we have low teacher wages. The problem is that, why do we have low teacher wages? It's a revenue problem. And my fear is in 3 years, when this contract is up again, we're going to be right back to at or near the bottom again. And I would rather see a proactive approach, and I would like to see something where our work sessions are a little bit longer than 5 minutes long, where we actually work in a proactive manner to research any and all solutions to fix the actual problem, which is the revenue issue that we have, and how we can increase revenues in this district so that our teachers, like Mr. O'Donnell, like Mrs. Cage, who deserve way more than what they're getting. I would appreciate if we can get some things on the agenda to do that proactively, Mr. President.
Yeah, if there are things we can add to the agenda that are under the purview of us as a board, then absolutely. And some of those solutions do fall outside of the purview of this Board of Governance. So we need to work towards maybe not thinking of 1 or 2 or out to 10 or 12.
As anything we can think of, I'd appreciate it.
Where we can beat, absolutely, Mr. Burlington, thank you. And I will build on, as you commented on the chorus, to hope, maybe I'll wrap this out. Do you have something, Mrs. Lee? Your mic's on. So as long as we're doing kudos.
I was at the chorus concert as well.
Yeah.
It was great. I loved it.
Programming, all the extras we're doing, it's extracurricular, it's sports, it's theater, it's music. The comment I did want to make, as a lifelong resident in this district and a graduate of our institution, I've seen different flavors over the years from an instructional side. Band is one of those tough places to really bring a group of kids together and bring them up, especially at that middle school level. The spring band concert, I can't say enough how impressed I am with Mr. Crosby and what he's done with that program just in a short period of time, and how those kids performed. I was in awe. It was a huge positive for me to see what we're doing with our kiddos on the music side. Of course, everything's great. The honor roll breakfast, I did make sure I complimented the food service as well because it was an excellent breakfast. And thank you, Mr. Paris, and your staff for continuing that tradition at the middle school. It's super important for the kids to be able to be celebrated and share with their parents. Those who allow their parents to sit with them at their tables at breakfast, that's what I've noticed is the newest social construct you've got to figure out is who's allowed to sit with their kid and who's not. So are there any others for board correspondence and dialogue this evening? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Nicole, so moved.
Burlingham, second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.